Still Crazy After All These Beers is brought to you by our friends at Michelob, crafting a better beer. And Porta Pong, the world's #1 best-selling inflatable beer pong table at portapong.com.
Hey everyone, Gary Monterosa. Welcome to this week's edition of Still Crazy After All These Beers. And if you are a fan of food shows, then you're going to recognize the gentleman standing at my right, Mr. Aaron Song from Hell's Kitchen.
Hey Gary, good to see you.
Man, good to see you. We're here in Atlantic City, and you know, everyone's wondering, because the first question is, what is Chef Ramsay really like?
Chef Ramsay's a pussycat.
I know he is not. Stop that.
Everybody doesn't believe that, but he's a very nice guy in person.
He is. Now, I got to tell you, now, when you were on, which was season what?
I competed on season 3. Season 4 I was on as a character, as a guy at the beach, bringing the winning teams to their prizes, and taking them to a cowboy bar. Season 4, I believe I was a sumo wrestler. So they have me doing, obviously, great things, and I think this season I am reading the rules, the new rules of Hell's Kitchen. So you got to keep on watching. It's a new date. It's on Tuesday nights now, Fox Television at 9 o'clock.
And I got to tell you, this, you know, for what you thought was a one-season thing, you've established a whole gig with them.
Gary, it kind of snowballed. So I'm telling you right now, crying and fainting will do wonders for you. Does nothing for your sex life, but does maybe good things for your cooking career.
Well, you know, that's what people ask me about. They know that you and I are friends.
About my sex life?
No, not about your sex life, because we could probably do 2 hours of footage on that.
Yeah, about 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 seconds of footage, okay. I thought I was known as the 10-second guy, but that's a whole other thing. But people ask me...
Speaking of food.
Speaking of food.
Yes, I am known to be hung like a hazelnut, so...
And for all you kids, turn the damn channel right now. I'll tell you that. This is for adults only. People ask me, hazelnut?
Hazelnut.
How are hazelnuts hung?
Gary, you don't know what a hazelnut looks like?
I do know what a hazelnut looks
it's
like.
A very visual thing, and let's just move on. Okay?
Should we?
This is all going to be edited out anyway.
We're not going to add any graphics to this, right? Okay, so you guys back in the studio, no graphics. They want to know how your health is.
My health is good.
Because, you were kind of, like passed out a little bit there.
You know what? It's television cameras, it's wearing sound gear. We don't wear sound gear here, but in there we wear battery packs, about 20 pounds of battery packs, plus a t-shirt that protects you from the heat of it, plus a t-shirt over that, plus a chef's coat, and then the television lights. And we're not working in a kitchen per se with ventilation. We're working on a sound stage. So it's really hot. And fat people don't do well in the heat. I'll tell you that right now.
Absolutely. Now, one of the people you were specifically friends with was little Eddie on the show.
Right.
Do you keep in contact with him? Have
Absolutely
you heard from him?
not.
Nothing? Okay. You established a real rapport when you guys were on the show.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? I think we kind of gravitated towards each other because we both had, I guess, a tough time on the show. But
okay. What is the auditioning process like to get on that show?
Well, for me, it was a long auditioning process, about 6 months of auditioning.
Wow.
So
did you submit like a video or an application? How was that done?
The funniest thing is I had a friend who was applying for American Idol. He was trying out, and he raced around the country, first at Meadowlands and then to LA to do American Idol. On his last attempt, he failed, so he's at my house, and he's submitting my name through a computer, and all my pictures in my computer, all my dirty pictures of myself in the computer to Fox Television, and in a month they called me. And they said, we got to have a fat Chinese guy on TV, so I'm on.
You answered the call.
And I guess the rest is history.
Is that like racial profiling or what?
It's definitely racial profiling. On the show, there's your gay, there's your fat person, there's your lesbian, and there's me. So the crier and the fainter.
Well, listen, you know what? Establishing a personality is really part of the gig, isn't it? Getting a name out there.
I guess it is, because that's what it's done something for me, because I'm still cooking. So
And that's the next thing. How has that show changed your life? Obviously, you're here in Atlantic City doing this event, but it's really changed your career. I mean, so many times over.
immediately after taping the show, I thought my career was over. I was gonna sell cars or sell insurance or do something.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly. That's what somebody told me,
Right.
that there's no such thing as bad publicity. But it's kind of taken off after that. So I've been working doing food shows around the country. I have a number of sponsors. I have Lee Kum Kee, a Chinese food purveyor. I have Pepsi Cola as one of my sponsors.
Whoa, hello.
Locally in Los Angeles, I have Whole Foods and a grocery store called Henry's, which I'm proud to represent.
That is wonderful. And of course, as you mentioned, you're living in the LA area.
Exactly. I live in Palos Verdes, California. So hopefully we'll get your show out in Palos Verdes.
Oh, you most certainly will. And I'll tell you what a great thing having you here. And I've seen you in AC now for a couple of years. Are you staying out of the casinos, Aaron? I want to know that.
I got here today at 6 in the morning. I've lost about $600. I got to get it back, Gary. I got to get it back.
Well, the wife goes online and checks the account, right?
Yeah, you know what? I took cash out. This is my extra cash that I put
Mrs.
away.
Song, you're not listening to this, I hope.
She does not know. Well, she'll know after this.
But you may win it back by then.
Exactly. I'm going to get it all back.
What is your game of chance? If
I
may?
play craps, and I'm Chinese, so that's all we do is gamble. I was born to gamble. We don't have casinos like this out in LA. We have Indian casinos, Gary.
Oh, okay.
And I frequent the Indian casinos pretty much every day. In fact, they love me so much, Gary, they've given me my own Indian name.
Which is?
Leaves with no chips.
But I'm bummed. Take my wife.
Exactly. They love me there, so.
All right, so for Leaves with No Chips, a.k.a. Aaron Song, thanks for joining us here. It's
Gary,
still
it's been a
crazy
pleasure.
after all. You are a good friend. It's always a
Thanks,
pleasure
Gary.
seeing you here in Atlantic City.
Thanks,
We'll see you
everybody.
next week on Still Crazy After All These Beers.
God bless everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.